Hey guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Surgan's Feed the Beast Let's Play Season 3. I'm here in my base, and there's a couple things that I wanted to go over before we get started today. The first thing is, anybody that's updated the mod pack may have noticed that when you log back in, you don't have a map. What you need to do is open up the launcher, and go to the Edit Mod Pack, and there's 4 different maps installed in this mod pack, but all 4 of them are disabled because you can't have all 4. So what you would need to do is just select which one and enable. I am using the Raise minimap, but the Opus is what we originally started with. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if we come down here, I'd actually noticed a problem with my setup here. One, you can see I added a couple more AC electric engines, and I took away the flywheels because we really didn't need them. I thought we did, but we really didn't. Since we have these all running on the same pulse, they should be running at the same speed. Now, if we used different clocks for each of them, then we probably would need the flywheels. One other thing that I had noticed, and let me just go ahead and show you here, is, and I had originally thought it was a bug. If I take a shaft out, you can see here now they're starting to wig out, right? The reason is because I have a magnetic shaft close to the engines. If I throw that away, now everything's working fine. So if you run into that problem where your AC electric engines just aren't running right, check to make sure that you don't have a magnetic shaft core in your inventory. So if I throw that in here now, everything works just fine again. And it's because basically you have something magnetic and you're carrying it close to magnetic engines. So that's one thing. The second thing is, remember I had said that the industrial coils cannot input and output at the same time? Well, here's a way around that. If I go over here and grab my angular transducer, you can see that I've let these run for a while. I have a lot of energy stored here, and that's going to be my output. But while it's running, I can't still collect energy, or still collect power. So I ended up putting a second industrial coil right here, and this is where the power is coming in at, and for me to transfer it, all I have to do is flip this lever and it'll transfer into this one. What I have this one set up to is 2,000 or 20,000 rads and 20,000 torque. That way it just transfers it really quickly. And there it goes. All that power that was in here is now transferred over to here. Nice. So let's get started today, and I think today I'm going to dedicate a lot to thermal expansion. So I've been letting this my machines run for a little while, and I set up this chest here. And basically on the other side of the chest is just a item node. These are almost grown, not quite, but when they almost reach maturity, you can see those purple particle effects coming in. It's almost there. Actually, it might be done. Do I want to risk breaking it? Yeah, why not? Oh, looks like it was done. Okay. So then I can replant that one, and I got an ender pearl. So I guess those purple particle effects means that it is done. So what I did was just put a item transfer node and a pipe down to the same pipe that my water is coming in, because I want it to go into my extractor anyway. I'm just going to throw that in there. Actually, no. Let me put them with the rest of my ender pearls. This is my mobs drops chest. So now my items are going in automatically, right? All I have to do is drop my ores in this chest, and they automatically go into my extractor, which I have turned off at the moment because I want to add one more part to this build. I don't want to have to keep running it from here all the way over to my redstone furnace. So, in preparation, I had made some hollow limestone brick covers, and I have a whole bunch of transfer pipes. And what I'd like to do is break this one right here. I'm going to put the hollow cover right there, so that way we have a hole in it. I don't need these anymore. And I'm going to need one item transfer node. And I'm going to put that right here. So now what I should be able to do is just plop this here that connects, and under the floor, I'm going to run it all the way to my furnace. Now, it might be a lot of piping, so you might think, well, why would you do all that? Well, I want my rotary craft machines over here, and I want room to expand, but I do want my ores to come over to my furnace automatically. So, let's see how we can do that. You know what? I think I should be able to go, yep, right here. Oh, I put away my shovel. Damn it. Right after I put away the tools, that's when I need them. Go figure. Let's just go ahead and jump up here. And I want it to come right over here. And this is actually the outside. Let's see if that's going to break anything. Nope. Okay. And I actually want it to come in right here. So let's see if I can get them over there. I want it to come right here and then down this way. I don't want those to connect. Well, it's an energy pipe and item pipes. It really doesn't make a difference. And just run these. Oh, of course. Note to self, don't put away your shovel right before you need it. Okay, there we go. So now, all we should need to do is close this hole, get down, and if I go back up to my machines up here, and I move my ladder, so that way I can put my barrels right here, and put cobblestone back right there, and now I should be able to tell this to accept input on this side, and not on the top. Well, you know what, I'll leave on the top too. And there we go. So now my gold flakes made their way from here all the way to my furnace. My furnace is going to cook them up and output the gold. So now I can just turn this on and let it run. No more manual running back and forth. So now that we have everything cleaned up there, and I'm just going to throw these away here, let's go ahead and get into thermal expansion. So let's go ahead and pull up the mod list here, and when I click on the item subsets and we go down to mod, all you have to do is scroll your mouse wheel and that'll go up and down, just in case I didn't cover it before. And if you go over to thermal expansion, shift click, that'll pull up all of the items for that mod. In this case, what I'd like to do is I would like to make, I don't need a pulverizer just yet. Let's see what we'd like. An igneous extruder would be nice. Cyclic assembler, don't really have a need for it just yet. Let's do an induction smelter. So I'm going to need some Invar ingots, and to get Invar ingots, I need some Invar blend, which is 2 iron and nickel. Okay, you know what, let's go ahead and start with the pulverizer. So I should have 2 flint, redstone reception coil, easy enough, piston, copper. Okay, let me get all this together and I'll be right back. Okay, so I should have everything I need now to throw this together. I just need a piston, just one, a machine frame. I'm just going to go ahead and make 2, just in case. And a redstone reception coil. There we go. Now, pulverizer. Sweet. Okay. Now the pulverizer is going to be used for a couple different things. One, it'll let us manually pulverize our materials. And I don't like this setup now. Let's put the output on top. The chest on top. Okay, so now I can put my pulverizer right here. And all I need to do is give it a little bit of power. One thing to notice with the pulverizer, it has an interface similar to the furnace. You have the different colors here. You have the redstone signal. I'm just going to put it disabled. And you have power input. But if you notice here, the maximum power is 40 RF. Now, luckily the leadstone conduit can transfer 80 at a time. But this little buddy down here, oh, he can make 80. Okay, that works for me. Let's go ahead and just throw some more charcoal in here to fill them up. I thought those would only do 40 at a time. That's okay. Now that we have our pulverizer, we should be able to get some more advanced machines. But I don't want to keep running that engine and powering all of my machines and have to keep throwing coal in there. So let's try a little bit better approach to it. Let's make a way to store the energy. So we're going to need a little bit of copper, another redstone conductance coil, and this time we're going to need electrum. So let's see how we can make electrum blend. Silver and gold. Easy enough. What we can do, let me just disable the outputs here. The 1 silver in here, that'll get us, or 1 gold, that'll get us pulverized gold. And I'm going to throw 1 silver, just 1. And that should get us pulverized silver. And now what we can do is put those 2 together, and we get electrum blend. Throw that in my furnace here, and that'll cook that up. So we have these, we have the copper, and we're going to need a block of redstone and a little bit of lead and glass. Easy enough. That's our electrum, yeah. Let's throw this gold and stuff like that in there. So I have some glass, I just need some lead. And the lead is, how many different types of lead do I have? Is it just the one? Thermal expansion and rotary craft. Let's use the rotary craft stuff. Actually, we'll use the thermal expansion since that stuff is stacking. So, leadstone energy cell. Block of redstone. 1 block. Okay, so we have the frame. We have the conductance coil, and now we should have, there we go, leadstone energy cell. One other thing I want to make is the Crescent Hammer, because I'm going to need a tool. I'm tired of having to break this stuff. And I have some iron. Let's get 1 piece of tin. The Crescent Hammer is the tool used for this, for thermal expansion. And it lets you do a couple of things. If we come down here, it'll let us rotate our dynamos. If it had a second place that it could go, say there was another redstone energy conduit, or leadstone energy conduit right here. We could whack it with the wrench and that would turn it. We can also shift click and just grab our conduit. So now if we put this in line here, and I want to tell it to clear those, so that means nothing can connect, and I want to tell it output, which is yellow or orange to the top, and input from the bottom. So now this should start building up with power. Now, right now it's also outputting its power. So as soon as this buffer finishes filling the machines upstairs, then what they'll do is they'll start filling up the energy cell here. And you can see here it holds a lot more power than just the engine by itself. So that'll be really nice. So we have a nice buffer of power. So we have that, and the other thing that I wanted to make today was the induction smelter. So again, I'm going to need some Invar, and that's where we started out with. So I'm going to need some Invar blend, which is 2 iron and ferrous metal, or nickel. Nickel is the same thing as ferrous, so if you're using rotary craft and you end up with a lot of nickel, it's the same thing. The ore dictionary basically tells it that, hey, nickel is used as ferrous, so I do have a good amount of that. So let's see, we need 2 iron and 1 nickel, so that'll be fine. I'll make a couple of them. So let's go ahead and throw this in here, and I'm going to let this pulverize down. And you can see here what I mean. The nickel, when it gets pulverized down, it's now pulverized ferrous. So we can throw our ferrous and our iron, and we get some Invar blend. I'm going to go ahead and cook this up here. And I'm going to have to throw these iron back in here once this is done. And while that's working, let's go ahead and get the rest that we need. We need another machine frame, which I have. We're going to need a redstone reception coil, which is just another piece of gold. I have that. I just need a little bit of redstone. And a bucket. And I have some copper on me. Okay, good. So let's see, do I have another bucket? I do have a bucket. And we'll go ahead and take these out of block. So, if we get the redstone reception coil, we have that, we have the bucket, I have the copper, I just need the Invar. Invar, right here. Throw those back in there. You know what, I totally forgot. I left this running. Okay, it's still working, that's fine. I'm not wasting power. And induction smelter, go. Nice. Now the induction smelter will let us do a couple of things. And just like before, I'm going to place it down right here. And I should be able to take my Crescent Hammer now and right click on this one to get rid of it, right click on this one, or shift right click, sorry. And let's put one more leadstone right where I'm standing. There we go. Oh, that was so much easier to get out this time. So there we go, induction smelter. It's going to start to fill up. Now, there's a couple things that we can do with the induction smelter. The first one that we can do is make some hardened glass. Where is it? There it is. Hardened glass. That takes pulverized obsidian and lead dust. Oh, they changed the recipe. It didn't used to take this much obsidian. So let me get some obsidian, pulverize it along with some lead, and pulverize that so we can get some hardened glass. And I should have some obsidian in here. So I'm just going to do, let's do 16, and I already have some lead on. So you can see how these machines really work well together. Well, it's the same mod, so they're kind of designed that way. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, that's going to give me a lot. Okay, so that'll be fine. So there we go. We have a little bit, and again, I'm going to disable all of the outputs, and I'm going to throw that in there, and one piece of lead, and that's going to get me some hardened glass. Now, hardened glass can be used for a couple different things. We can use it to make fluid ducts, which will allow us to move liquids around. We can use them for item ducts, which will allow us to move items around. The redstone energy conduit, which transfers a lot more energy than what we currently have. Same thing with the redstone energy cell. But what we can also make is we can make nice chests that we can carry with us. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to make a reinforced strongbox. I might make a reinforced tank too. And then these are tesseracts, but I like tesseracts, but there's another mod that adds something really similar, and I'd like to use it from that, and that's Ender IO. So we have a couple pieces of hardened glass. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. You know what? I grabbed this much. I'm going to let it go ahead and go. And let's start with the strong box. We have to make the first tier of strong boxes first. Where is that? Oh, I'm just overlooking it. Okay. So the first tier of strong boxes is just a chest with some tin. Easy enough. The second tier is we have to make Invar, which we have some. So let's get going with, we have a little bit of wood. I'm going to need a little bit more. We have our chest, which is your normal size chest. If we take some tin, which of course I didn't grab, and go just like that, we make a strong box. Now, like I said, the strong box you can place down and it's smaller, but here's the nice thing. If I throw something like my torches in here, and then I believe we can pick it up with the Crescent Hammer. Yep, shift right click. Now we have our strong box here, but where are my torches? Well, if I go and I place it somewhere else in the world, I still have my torches in there. Nice. Now you want to make sure to take your items out before upgrading, just in case. I've heard that sometimes it works without taking them out, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'd say just to err on the side of caution. So now we have a hardened strongbox. If we look here, it's 4 slots. Is that about the size of a normal chest? It's a little bit bigger. And same rules apply. We can pick it up, we can put our items in it, and carry them around. But if we take our hardened glass, and while I'm here, let's go ahead and throw these in here and just however much that's going to make. If we take our hardened strongbox and surround it with hardened glass, we get a reinforced strongbox. Now, the only thing bigger is a resonant strongbox, and that takes Enderium ingots. And I'm not quite sure I'm ready for those just yet, because I have to melt down some ender pearls and get some shiny metal, which I think I should have. Tin, yeah, don't really want to do that just yet. So this will work for us. And if we look here, it's a nice size box. So I should be able to, say, put my tools in here. Let me grab my other ones. Let's see. Grab my hoe. Okay, that'll work. And so now I can just throw these in here. And whenever I need a tool, minus the Crescent Hammer, whenever I need a tool, I can just put this down, open it up, and get whatever tool I need out of it. It's great for mining too, because it adds an extra inventory. Okay, so not as much hardened glass as I'd like, but that's okay. There's one more thing that I'd like to make from thermal expansion before I'm done with it for right now, and that is the igneous extruder. What the igneous extruder will do, actually, you know what, let's build one, and then I'll show you what it'll do when we can look at it. So we're going to need another piston, machine frame, some tin, and a pneumatic servo that we haven't seen these before. And it's just some glass and some iron. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of these made up, and I'll be right back. So now I have my igneous extruder, and if I place that down, actually, you know what? I don't need to place it. Oh, I ran into the same thing. I need some kind of jump boost, because I keep putting myself in a situation where I get stuck in my own base. Okay, so you know what? Let's put this. I actually realized with the igneous extruder I don't need power. So I'm going to put it over here. And the only thing that it needs is a little bit of lava and a little bit of water. And as soon as you give it those two, it will start making cobblestone. So just like a regular cobblestone generator, it's never going to use up the lava and it's never going to use up the water. This will continuously run and make cobblestone. Now, if I change it to stone, then it is going to use up, I believe, a little bit of the water. It may use up some lava. If I change it to obsidian, it's definitely going to use up the lava. So the nice thing is now I have an unlimited supply of cobblestone without having to make a big vanilla generator, because you can see here I'm starting to run a little bit low, and my entire house is made out of cobblestone. So if I wanted to expand, then I would have to go and, go dig up the landscape a little bit more and things like that. But the nice thing is now I can just take cobblestone and go ahead and cook it up and make some smooth stone. So I think what I'm going to do between this episode and next is pretty up my base a little bit. I'm going to change all of this out for just stone bricks. So it's not going to be great, but it's going to look a lot nicer than it does right now. And all I have to do is worry about the charcoal that I have down here. Because remember that this charcoal is what I'm running my engines off of. So I think after I clean this up, next episode, what I'd like to get into is a little bit of Thaumcraft, because I run slow, and Thaumcraft is a good way to fix that. On top of that, Thaumcraft is going to give us some nice, cool toys that we can use for automation and a lot of other things that we find useful. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys later.